if it starts to be in the way and it doesn't start doing anything, then you can always turn it off.
All right, I did start streaming, and
now go back to the restream page and look at the home page there.
Okay,
the dashboard.
got a preview. Looks like.
So you can see it.
Yeah, right there. Yep. Okay.
And what does it say?
Facebook online, it's a green check, and YouTube says it's sending data.
Okay.
So I need to open up YouTube.
Yep. So you're live on. You are live on Facebook. Yeah, turn that chat box off. We need to try to tweak that when you're not going live. So there's just
live now. Let's see.
And there's a little eyeball next to chat. See it on in OBS.
Okay. OBS. And okay, what do I do? Okay, chat. Yeah. Turn that off.
Yeah, just turn the eyeball off.
Okay, it's gone.
Yeah, and then they'll catch up in the stream.
Hello, welcome to the chat.
You can have your microphone on.
Oh my goodness, I sure don't. I'm totally not.
It might still be picking me up. No, it's fine.
Okay. How's that?
Yeah, plug it into your computer so it'll work.
I am totally not. Okay. How is that? Oh, look, there's levels on there. I am totally not with it today. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Sunday Coffee Chat Live. I just typed into the YouTube chat. When you join, please tell me who you are and where you're from so I can say hello and give you a shout out. And Facebook. Oi, oi, oi. Hello. Facebook's running a little slow. Here we go. It says live. Let's just run a little slow. So let's see. Who is on? Who is on? Anyone? Anyone? There, we are all set up. Ready for peeps. Whoops. All right. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Tell me if you can hear me. And if everything looks good on your end. Happy Sunday, everybody. I think we got everything all set up. Hello, JT. Of course, I know who JT is, who he is, and where he from. I know where you live. Oh. Tell me something good. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy Sunday afternoon. Tell me something. Tell me what's good, y'all. What's up? Tell me something good. What's been happening with you? We are in Vlogust 26. Can you believe that August is almost over? Oh my goodness. Pretty soon it's fall, pumpkins, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for the thumbs up on YouTube. Please give me a thumbs up because that helps out the lovely algorithm stuff, watch time, all that good stuff. I want to thank everyone. I reached 160 subscribers. We are 40 away from 200. Whoop, 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 whoop. Very happy about that. Thank you for all of your support and your love, your watch time, your likes, your hearts, the comments, the participating in the chats. I love it all. Just keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep doing what you're doing, everybody. Now I got that song in my head. Tell me something good. Oh yeah. I know I'm kind of slap happy now. If it's a combination of being tired, be crazy not getting no sleep or anything. What you want to talk about, people? It's the end of the month. I need some Vlogust ideas. I have, what do we have? So how many days? 31 days in August. I need 5 more, 5 more vlog ideas to try to come out, end on a positive note for Vlogust. And I'm telling you, I'm burned out on trying to do vlogs every day. And I need some ideas. Anybody got any ideas? Some one ideas? I have no idea, but I need some ideas. People? Where everybody at? They probably taking their naps. People probably at the beach today because it's like beautiful outside. I'll get a few more minutes and we'll start. I'll just start talking to nobody. I've done pretty good at that.
Just got somebody. Somebody popped in and went out.
What? No, I just saw somebody pop on, I think. Thank you for sharing. Linda did? Ah, maybe she was the one that popped in and out. Hey, Rachel. Rachel is with us today. I know. Oh, I am. We're at the end of August. Rachel just had a birthday. Rachel turned 33. Can you believe that? I can't believe. Is that right? I hope I got it right, Rachel. 33. I remember when she was 14. Oh, she all grown up, married, and Rachel's gonna be having kids coming in. I forgot their names, Rachel. I am so sorry. I want to say Jalen. Is that? I probably botched that. Yeah, they're going to be coming. Last I heard, that was some good news. Rachel had some. She's going to be having some kids coming. Insta mom. That's going to be Rachel. So, Rachel, does everything sound okay? Everything look okay in the chat? Of course, you're probably driving. She's probably driving back home. She won't be able to participate much. Where everybody at? What time is it? 2:38. Well, I best be getting to talking. Share the chat, people. That will help. It'll help tell others that we are on. And, you know, I wonder if I should pop over into the group and let everybody know that we're on. I wonder how I can do that. Oh, goodness. I don't know how to do that from here. I can't do it. I guess I have to do it on my phone. Jalen, I have one. And, oh, Serenity. Okay. Yes. And we have, and, so how is all that going, Rachel? Are they coming? Do you have a date yet? Or do you guys have to get yourself settled, you know, in a house and all that stuff first? And then They're coming? Guess maybe I'll do it too. Whoops. Sorry. Mute. Mute. All right, I'll share it too. How do I just want to share it on my timeline.
I copied the link and then posted it on my timeline.
Stacy Hessen. Hey, Stacy. Welcome to the chat. Where's it? It says, maybe it's my phone, but you're kind of quiet. Am I quiet? Am I quiet? I didn't look quiet on the thing. Turn it up, Rachel. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up now. Turn it up. Oh, but she says she's sitting in a restaurant. Birthday celebration. Number 2. Rachel says they're still looking for a place. Our comments aren't scrolling. Is there that much of a delay? I'm seeing it on my phone, but I'm not seeing it here. Tell me something good.
Well, whatever you're seeing there is Facebook. That's not us.
That's what I'm saying. Is if there's a delay or doing something through here, it's on my phone. I've got Rachel's talking, and there's nothing showing up here.
I'm seeing it.
Oh, she says you're all the way up on my phone. Yeah, well, if you're in a restaurant, Rachel, is probably... You have to catch the repeat. Well, thanks for tuning in anyway while you're having a birthday celebration lunch. I hope you have a good lunch. Good time celebrating. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and start talking for all of maybe one person that's here. It's that kind of day. Sundays, y'all tell me when you're watching the replay. Please, chime in and let me know. Are Sunday afternoons at this time just not good? Would you rather have Sunday evenings? Because I can do Sunday evening if that would be better. Just, for me, it just seems like Sunday afternoon, right? Like right now would be good, but I know a lot of people are doing family time. I guess we're boring. We don't have family time or something. I'm here for y'all. Okay. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start talking. So I want to do a check-in with everyone. It's a couple weeks ago, I challenged everyone to not check their cell phones for the first hour of the day. The first hour that they are, awake, before you go to work, before you get your day started at home. Just to wake up and have that time for you, for self-care, for devotional time, quiet time. And I would love to hear, for those of you that are doing it, because I know some of you are, how that's working out for you. Has it been, beneficial to not be checking it? Have you felt like you've had a clearer mind? Have you felt more in tune with what your body needs, or you just feel more relaxed? Would love to hear how that's working for everyone. So go ahead and share that in the comments. Bye, Rachel. Hope you have an enjoyable afternoon. I'm going to type in here, how is the cell phone challenge going for you? All right. So yes, back down to no viewers. That's all right. So yes, we challenge. And if you're not familiar with the cell phone challenge, I challenged everyone again to not look at their phones for the first hour of the day. And so I had been doing it, and my day didn't start. My day actually starts at 5 o'clock. I'm up before that though, helping my husband get to work, helping him get out the door, and so my day actually starts at 5. So I wouldn't look at my phone until after that. However, though, I did slide on it this last week because I got into a coupon challenge group. Who else coupons? Give me hands up. Throw up a hands comment in the little hand thing up in the comments. Let me know who is a couponer or is into saving money, if you use any of those apps, money-saving apps, rebates, that kind of thing. Because I got into that this last week and trying to learn those apps and the different money-saving things, get all signed up and that kind of stuff, that took a lot of time. And I was trying to do it in the morning when I had extra time and it was quiet and, you know, I was fresher and wasn't worn down from the day. So I was on my phone, you know, about 6 o'clock in the morning. So I did take some time and do a challenge that to try to learn some of these apps and these money saving things. So anyway, so I got back into couponing again. So that's going to be doing this afternoon, is working on coupons. So if you're a couponer, let me know. I'd love to be able to connect with you. I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been up late trying to learn and get some things organized for my weekend shopping. I do every 2 weeks on payday. I do a big grocery haul. I try to shop for 2 weeks, and I try to shop for a lot of the regular meals that we like to have around here. And then, you know, stock up on some other things that we're out of. Sometimes I have a really big 2-week haul. And then there are other times like this past Friday where it wasn't a whole lot because I was still stocked up. So, so that helped. So the coupon apps that I was using, I was using like Ibotta for one. And I was able to actually get some cash back for just going grocery shopping. So that was exciting. And then I had lunch with a friend the other yesterday, and we did some shopping, and I was able to find some really good deals, get some stuff that's going to be heading into the fall. So I got some clothes and some new shoes. That was kind of an early birthday present for me. My birthday's next month. So, yeah, so I've gotten excited again about doing some of this couponing. And so anyway, I said all of that because I was saying that the cell phone challenge, I slacked off a little bit last week. And yeah, was on my phone doing that. I wasn't doing social media, if that counts, but yeah, I was on my phone. Early in the morning trying to do some homework for this coupon challenge class that I'm in. So there's that. So anyway, so let me know how the cell phone challenge is going for you. Let me know what you are doing that first hour of the day to benefit yourself, benefit your emotional well-being, your emotional health, your physical health. How are you taking care of yourself physically? You know, doing a little self-care, self-feeding. I think my light's going to fall again. Anyway, so the other thing with that said, I wanted to talk about emotional hygiene today. And these are my thoughts from a TED Talk that I had watched a few weeks ago. This thing is falling. Hold on a second. Maybe not. It sure looks like it's fallen. It's slowly coming down. There it goes. Yep. All right. Hopefully I got it. Is everybody still with me? Hopefully I didn't just mess up the camera. Everything looks like it's still... Ah! Okay, looks like it's all right still. Okay. So, emotional hygiene. And it is a TED Talk by Guy Winch. And these are some of the notes that I had from that, and just my thoughts that I wrote down about these different areas, but stuff that I wanted to bring to our attention. we're all hearing the news, of different, people that are suffering emotionally. We have a lot of moms that are the silent sufferers, if you will. They have what is it called? High functioning depression. I think I have that right. But there was actually a term for that, and I wrote it down, and I don't have it with me, but there was a term. It's actually called anyway, there is a term for high functioning depression. And what I had been calling it was silent sufferers, because that's kind of where I have been in this last decade. I was just doing nothing but surviving, and not taking care of myself, but just trying to get through the day, get through what needed to be done, make it to the next thing that I had to do, the next dance class I had to go to for the, take a child somewhere, or take a child to an art class, or go to a troop meeting, go to church, serve in ministries there. I was just going from one thing to the next, and I never took the time in this last decade to really concentrate on myself and my emotional well-being. I was always thinking of everybody else. And I think that is natural for moms, women in general, to want to do that. That's just what we do. We take care of everybody else. We're nurturers, just in our nature. So, but in this TED Talk, he mentioned the phrase emotional hygiene. And I thought this was great, because when we talk about hygiene, when we think about taking care of ourselves, being cleanly, brushing our teeth, taking showers, washing our faces, brushing our hair, that kind of stuff, about cleaning our clothes, and, making sure that we have clean clothes to wear, and that kind of stuff, that we are always concerned about taking care of ourselves on a hygiene level. But we're not spending any of that kind of same care on our emotional. We do physical hygiene, but not emotional hygiene. And I really loved this, and just want to share it with you. Our physical health, I think all of you know this, but I think it's time to just sit down and actually take a good look at it, and think about this. Our physical health plays an important role in our emotional health. I think everybody knows that. But just as it is as important to brush your teeth, or to clean a cut that you get, some kind of a wound on your body, we all know we have to clean those. It's just as important to address and take care of an emotional wound, a psychological wound. So these psychological wounds happen way more often than a physical wound. Are you with me? Give me some hearts. Show some love. Share some comments in the chat. Let me know that you're still with me. Physical wounds. These are things like loneliness, rejection, failure, these kinds of things. Feeling uninvited, unloved. These can also get worse if they are ignored. Our physical wounds, whatever that may be for you, these physical wounds will get worse if you don't take care of them. Just like if you had a cut, some kind of wound, and you don't take care of it, it will fester, it will get infected, and it becomes much worse than it was when it started. And I'm here to tell you that it's important that you cannot, just as you cannot deny that you have a physical wound, you have to accept the fact that you have it, and then address it and take care of it. You have to do the same thing with your psychological wounds, with your emotional wounds. Okay? Now, this man, Guy Winch is his name on the TED Talk. He goes on to say that there are scientifically proven techniques and faith-based counseling that you can use to help you address your psychological wounds. It's like going to the doctor. If you had a wound, you would go to the doctor, right? Well, there are scientifically proven techniques, and there's faith-based counseling that you can use, that you can go to help to help your wound heal, to someone who can help address your wounds, to help you get better, but we don't use them. And this is curious for me because I am the same way. I don't use them. I would love to know why we have so many of these things available and we women are not using them. So let's figure out why. Is it because we're just too busy and we just don't have time? Are we too embarrassed because we're afraid that if we admit that we have a problem or that we've been hurt, we just don't have that mental energy to go down that road? We just don't feel like it's worth it, or maybe there's embarrassment there. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts as to why we don't use some of these things that are available to us, counselors, faith-based counseling, doctors? What are these? Why are we not using these? Okay. Now, you're depressed, you're sad, you're emotionally beaten down, and someone tells you to shake it off. Well, that's the worst advice that can be given. So if that's you, can I lovingly say to just stop it? Because there are different stages of depression and different stages of sadness. There's a whole bunch of areas in someone's life that is causing some kind of emotional distress. And we need to, if on the opposite side of that person, to just come alongside them. But telling them to shake it off would be as silly as me telling you to just like, oh, you have a broken leg. Well, you just need to shake it off. That, no. So when we're talking about deep psychological wounds, which I'm going to talk about a few here, for example, loneliness. These deep psychological wounds mess with our thinking, okay? They do. They become battles. They messes with our thinking. We believe we become paralyzed. Let me put it that way. We become paralyzed in these emotional wounds that we have. So we get caught up in this stinking thinking. We get caught up in these cycles. We believe that those around us care much less than they actually do. People do care about you. Especially those that are in your circle, like your family. I mean, they care about you. But where we become paralyzed in our thinking is that we care so much about what they think that we get paralyzed in these holes of these deep psychological wounds and these deep emotions. And most people don't realize how deep that they're in because, we're surrounded by people. This is great for moms. I mean, well, not great for moms, but this is where it really applies to moms and women who are always surrounded by kids or coworkers. Maybe you're surrounded by other students. So maybe you're someone like that's in college, or but you're always around other people, so you don't notice it as much. You don't notice the depth of it. You may realize that I'm feeling kind of depressed, or I'm going through this thing. I'm really going through this type of sadness, and but I don't realize how deep it is. And so it's important to analyze, take a step back, and analyze yourself and what you're feeling. He also says loneliness is purely subjective and based solely on feelings about those around you. Loneliness is purely subjective. Okay? Because sometimes, and I like how he said that, because sometimes you think you are lonely, but you're really not. And it's now, doesn't mean that you're not feeling lonely, but maybe you're not really alone. There's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. And So loneliness is purely subjective. Hi, Erin. Welcome to the chat. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for joining. Earlier, and you can catch this on the replay, in the first part of the chat, I was doing a check-in and checking in with everyone on how the cell phone, not checking your cell phone in the first hour of your day. If you're doing that, how is it working for you? So that's something that you're going to want to maybe check back in on the replay and let us know how you're doing with that if you're doing it. If not, this would be a great time to get started. Leaving your cell phone away, leaving it just, unless you use it for your alarm, turn it off and leave it away, put it away for that first hour of the day and focus on you. But right now we're talking about emotional hygiene and how it's important to recognize that you have a psychological wound, just like you would recognize that you have a wound on your body. And let me see if this chat, yep. Hi. I'll watch the replay. I'll have to start because I don't do that now. Okay, great, Erin. Great. But I can, if you have any questions, I'll tell you more about it when we can have a chat, like instant messenger or something. So, all right. So, recognizing that you have that you have a psychological wound, and again, that could be anything. It could be something that someone said about you, something that someone said to you, something that happened to you, physically, emotionally, whatever that is for you. You have a deep psychological wound. You have it. You need to recognize it, and you need to address it. You can't just ignore it. Just like a wound on your body, you can't ignore it. Yeah, we can meet for coffee. But you can't ignore the wounds because they will fester, and just like a physical wound will fester and just get infected and become much worse than what it started out with. The same thing will happen with emotional wounds. Chronic, like if you have an illness, sometimes wounds can go so deep, and if they get infected, they get gangrene in it, and then you would have to cut that part off, or it means a lot of bad things can happen. Same thing with chronic loneliness, and we're talking about loneliness in this first part right here, but it will kill you. It can. I shouldn't say will, but it can kill you. People that suffer chronic loneliness are at a 14% risk of earlier death. They have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. This loneliness impairs the immune system. It's the same risk as if you smoked cigarettes. And on cigarettes, on the boxes of cigarettes, they have warnings that these can kill you. But there isn't when we're starting to talk about emotional hygiene. There's not a warning for that, and most of us are finding out when it's too late. Damage has been done. Our family members find out about this a lot later because, again, like I said earlier, we don't recognize it. If we're always around, we have kids, we have responsibilities as wives, mothers, or just, with our jobs, we're always around people. We don't realize the depth of what we're going through. And then we don't voice it because we're women, and we don't voice things. We don't ask for help for various reasons, for embarrassment, or just, yes. Oh, I saw that one already. So there are a variety of reasons why people don't ask for the help that is out there. But ladies, we must practice emotional hygiene just as much as you practice personal hygiene. We must. Okay, so recognize that you have an emotional wound, that you have a pain point. Okay, and then we need to stop the emotional bleeding. We have, just like you would stop your wound bleeding, we have to stop the emotional bleeding, okay? how do we do that? I mean, we have someone that you can talk to. You can call me. You can message me on Facebook. You can message me on Instagram on a private message, and I'll be happy to talk with you. I've done that with some people where we have a face-to-face phone call, like the FaceTime, or I can meet you in person if you're here locally. But do not let loneliness become the main thing, the main focus in your life. Okay. Again, I said earlier, loneliness is purely subjective. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not feeling lonely, but we need to analyze the lonely feeling. Is it perceived loneliness? Or are you actually, you're actually lonely? Not discounting the feelings that you have, because I believe those feelings are real and I acknowledge those. But loneliness is based on those feelings about those around you. Okay? And that's the reality I want to dig down with you, with other women, is to help you realize that even though you have, you're going through all of these things, let's get down to the root of it. Let's figure out where you really stand. And because there is always a positive in every negative situation, there's always a positive. And my goal is to help you find that out. All right, so we talked about loneliness. Now this is not such a positive, happy talk today, but I want to address these things because all of us are facing these things, but we tend to take, because we're busy moms, we're busy women, and we tend to push things off because we have more important things to do. Well, I'm here to tell you, and this TED Talk really inspired me, is to just as much as you take care of yourself on a physical level, physical hygiene, you must take care of yourself emotionally. You cannot ignore it. Okay? So let's say we have failure. Okay? I have this saying that I say all the time about your mind. If you believe you will fail, you will. Okay? The mind believes what it receives. What are you receiving into your mind? What are you receiving about yourself? What are you telling about yourself? You're going to be telling yourself lies about yourself, all the negative stuff about yourself. Your mind is going to believe that, and that's going to become your reality. Let's see. These are my notes on the TED Talk, so give me just a second as I... Okay, so every one of us has a default set of emotions when it comes to setbacks. You have a setback. Yes, Aaron, there is a silver lining to every cloud. I believe that. I've always said that I could find Jesus in every situation. I may not be able to right at first, but I can always find Jesus in every situation. You just can't see it. And there comes a period of time when you have to go through the loneliness or go through the failure that we're talking about here, or rejection, or whatever it is. You have to go through it. And it's those times that you have to take a step back. I think you have to take a step back in those situations and look for Jesus, because he's there. He's not, he's there with you. He doesn't leave you. Yep. So we all have, when it comes to setbacks, failures, and these kinds of things, we all have a default set of emotions that we fall to. So let me ask you, what do you do when you fail, when you make a mistake? What is it that you tell yourself? This is important. And just give me a second here while I type this into the YouTube chat. So in the YouTube chat, I just typed in, what do you tell yourself when you fail? All right. How do you feel? For example, when you fail, you tell yourself you're a failure. Yep, Darlene, you knew you wouldn't work out. I just said, you're a failure. You can't do this. Well, then this is going to lead me to believing it. Okay, yeah, Erin says she she cries. Okay. That is a very natural reaction to have to when you fail. You feel that you just have completely and utterly failed. And it's okay to cry, by the way, because you're upset. Well, why are you crying? What is it that you're crying over, Erin? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Are you crying because you feel that you let yourself down? Did you feel like you didn't measure up to something that, a standard that you had? I know I cry because I get angry. That's my frustration coming out. I feel that I should have known better. That's usually why when I get to that point, I feel like I should have known better in that situation and I didn't. And it came back to bite me in the boo-boo, and I start crying because I get so frustrated and I feel like I'm like, ugh. All right, gang. So the mind is hard to change once it's been convinced. All right. So we're telling ourselves these negative things about us. All right. And we're going to start to believe it because we've been telling ourselves that for years, probably. Right. If that's all the stuff that we're hearing all the time, and then someone else will say it. Oh my goodness. Then that's just like, man, all that stranger or that other person just has to say it one time. And it's like, oh man, it just like, boom, locks it in because I've been telling myself that for months. And all of a sudden someone else says it and it's like, yep, see, I knew it was true. And my mind becomes convinced, and it's hard to change once it's been convinced. But it can change. It can change. There's our hope. Because we must recognize what is going on and not allow ourselves to become convinced that we can't succeed. Jim Quick is another person that I listen to, and he said he likened our minds to like a computer. It's like a hard drive, and what you put into it, that's what it's hardwired. That's what's going to come out. So if you're going to tell yourself, for example, he was talking about people that tell themselves, I have such a bad memory. Oh, I'm so bad at remembering names. Oh yeah, you could tell me that now, but I'm going to forget later, right? Those things that we keep telling ourselves. It's like, yeah, well, you're going to program the computer that way, and that's the outcome you're going to get. You're not going to remember things. You're not going to remember those names or remember that phone number or remember that item on your grocery list, because you're just like, well, I'm never going to remember this, so I better write it down, right? Hey, Erin, I think Rachel said she had to leave because she was at a restaurant. Unless she came back on and I didn't see it, but Rachel said she was at a restaurant having birthday celebration number 2. So I'm not sure if she's on the chat right now. So we must not allow ourselves to become convinced that we can't succeed. You can, but you're just not seeing it right now because you have told yourself that you can't. You told yourself well, that's never going to happen for me. I'm never going to find this. I'm never going to have this. My husband's never going to be like this. My children are never going to do this because, whatever. They're never going to get it through their thick heads. Because I believe that they can't. And so my job for my kids is to tell them, yes, you can, and teach them how to believe in themselves. But then I turn around, I won't believe in myself. So what kind of hypocrite is that, right? So, all right. So we talked about loneliness. We talked about failure. Now we're going to talk about rejection. These are some of the biggest things that are the deepest emotional wounds that people have. So now we're going to talk about rejection. We all know that other people can be cruel, friends can be cruel, family can be cruel, but, and this is a big but, we are our own worst enemy. I am my own worst enemy. Yeah, Erin. Oh, yes, I say that a lot. Speaking life instead of lies to ourselves. Yes, speak life to yourself. Speak truth into your life. And it's okay. It's okay. I was thinking this morning while I was driving to and from church, why are we why are we walking around so much, especially, I'm speaking to fellow Christian sisters in Christ. Why are we walking around so negative? Why are we always saying negative things to ourselves? I mean, when it comes to the default position, you know, in my life, I always go to the negative. And why am I doing that? And why am I not going to celebrate the person that I am in Christ Jesus? Why am I not going to celebrate I know, okay, so, all right, here, let me try to give a scenario. I want to celebrate something good about myself, something good that happened to me because of Christ, okay? And I'm going to say, my salvation, right? Because I praise the Lord for my salvation, and that I am what we talked about last week, that because of Christ, I am justified and I am freely forgiven. And because of these things, I can be happy, I can be confident, I can be all of these things because Christ has done this for me. He died for me. He's gave his life for me so that I can be up here and be justified and freely forgiven. And why am I not celebrating that? And when I start to celebrate in that, I have had people tell me that I'm boasting and that I'm being proud and this, like you like they turn around and say, well, you remember, you know, we're all sinners and you know we're not supposed to be proud and that kind of thing. And I'm like, well, I should be happy about my salvation and I want to tell other people about it. But why am I? This becomes a negative thing to be excited and happy and you know, can I say proud? I get proud of my children, but someone has to slap around that negative on you and say, you know, the Lord doesn't like a proud look. That's not what we're talking about. I'm proud of that my kids acted appropriately in public. And it's not because, you know, I can be happy about that, but some self-righteous I'm getting on my soapbox, y'all. There's some person who says that you can't act, you can't be proud, you can't be happy, you know. Yeah, Aaron, how dare you be a joyful Christian? Good night. And that drives me bananas. And I was sitting there, I was just like, why? What did it become such a bad thing, you know, to be happy, to be joyful, to be excited, to be you know, and to actually proclaim it. Man, when we start proclaiming with like these I am statements we were doing last week, when we start proclaiming these statements and making an I am statement, it becomes like, oh, well, you are those, you know, boastful, bragging women and you're not supposed to be like that. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be around you if you're like all negative and sourpuss all the time. I'm going to be over here where I'm excited and I'm, you know, literally dancing for joy because I know where I'm going when it's all said and done. All right, so gee whiz. I guess that leads me to talking about rejection. Friends can be so cruel, right? But we can be our own worst enemy. So beyond all of that, when it comes to rejection, I can be my own worst enemy. Okay? Because something will happen, like these instances that I talked about, someone criticizing you for being, you know, trying to better yourself and get right thinking about yourself, about who you are. And then, you know, then I will go ahead and make it worse. Take what that person said and I will make it worse. Now, you know what that would be like doing? Now, would this be, hang on a second, Aaron says, me too. People think that if you are positive, that you are not being realistic in life, but you can be joyful and positive and still understand what reality really is. Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, look, I know that in my core, you know, in my nature, that I am a sinner. You don't look, you know, like I didn't have to teach my kids how to be selfish. right? I didn't have to, nobody had to teach me how to be selfish or how to lie, you know, or how to do whatever, to be hurtful. It's just in my nature. All right. But what I need to do as a parent is to teach my children that those behaviors are not right. And yeah, Aaron, you got me. I got you. I got you. I got you. I know that I don't. I think it was about deserving. So like you know, people say, well, you deserve this, and I'm one to say no. I don't deserve. I don't know. You know, a day to myself, right? I feel like I don't deserve that. But that's not what. Mm, Let me put it back to Christianity. Man, I think the air conditioning's not on. I know that I'm what I am deserving of, but because God loves me and he sent his son to die for me and to take my place and be what we call the big word propitiation, which just means that it's the debt that I owe is satisfactorily paid. Okay, it satisfies a just and holy God. Why can I not celebrate that and be happy about that? And I'm just, you know, I know they're just like, it's like everybody wants to remind you, well, yeah, you know, don't you remember everyone's a sinner, you know, da da da. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a sinner and I've been saved by grace. And I've got, you know, God doesn't see me that way anymore. He sees me as his child and he sees me through Jesus, because of Jesus. And I can be like this because God doesn't want me to walk around being a pile of dung. He wants me to walk around, right? Being joyful and happy and full of love and compassion towards other people. And I can do that because of Christ. You know, but then there's all these other Christians that want to, okay, I'm going back. I'm swirling the train, as JT calls it. I love you too, Aaron, and I'll talk to you later. All right, I need to finish this anyway. Okay, so that was talking about rejection. And if you have a physical wound, would you take a knife and stick it in that wound or that cut and then say, let me see how much deeper I can make it? We wouldn't do that physically, so why would we do it emotionally, right? We would not do that. But we do it with our emotional wounds, with our emotional deep psychological wounds. We do that. We take it and we do it to ourselves, and we take it and we just and we poke it and we make it worse than it is. Emotional hygiene is not practiced. We need to practice this, ladies. We need to practice this. Okay, another wound, another deep psychological wound, and actually no, it's not really a wound. It's a practice that what I was just calling swirling the drain just about 2 minutes ago. That's called rumination. That's when you're replaying a scene over and over and over again, right? You're reliving the entire thing and bringing it up in your mind, and you're just reliving it, and you're not getting out of it. That's swirling the drain. This is a strong urge. You have a strong urge to do this. You're acting out everything in your head. You spend so much time focused on these upsetting and negative scenes in your mind. They will put you, listen to this, at a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, clinical depression, alcoholism, eating disorders, because this is playing in our head all the time and we want to get away from it. Okay, I'm going to tell you how to get away from that. This is something you can fix. This right here is something you can fix. This swirling the drain, stop it. Plug it up. Stop it. Okay? This negative stuff on the news, these images that are flashing and in your mind, and the conversations that you hear, all the negative talk on social media, and that's everywhere, right? This social media has given us a 24-hour live news cycle. Give me a second. I'm checking over here. Okay, nope. I'm putting it on YouTube. Okay. This takes a lot of discipline. And so this is the area where us women get caught up a lot, and we get tripped up in this swirling the drain, this rumination business, okay? Because we will dwell on things. We are good at dwelling in our minds, and we need to force ourselves to change our thoughts and think about something positive, okay? I had a hashtag little slogan going a little while ago was stop it and drop it. And this is the exact same thing. You see that you're swirling the drain, or these thoughts are, you're ruminating all of this in your mind. You need to stop it, recognize you're doing it, stop it, and then just drop it. Just let go of those thoughts. And that takes a lot of physical discipline to do that. Okay, and when you stop it and you drop it, then you're going to need to replace it with something good and positive to think about. The things that we want to think about in our heads are all the positive things. Get and do something, change, get off Facebook, turn off the TV, go out for a walk, go change your location, move to another room in the house, get a book, get a journal and start writing down, clearing out your mind, clean a drawer, go whatever. If you're at work and you're in negative conversations, change your location, go somewhere else. Excuse yourself from the conversation. You can do it. By doing these things, ladies, you will build emotional resilience and you will thrive. And that's what Recycled Mom is all about, revive to thrive. And I want you to thrive at life. I don't want you to just survive it. Okay, so it's the time here is we need to practice emotional hygiene just as much as you would physical hygiene. Okay, listen to these. There's a couple other things I want to add. When people practice personal hygiene, life expectancy rose 50%. Okay, so when we started, when people started, back in the days when they were, dumping the pea cans. Oh, I'm sorry. When we were dumping, all the nasty stuff in the streets, we cleaned up water. We started washing hands, taking, bathing and all of these things, that's when life expectancy started to rise. We had less diseases, the quality of life increases when you practice personal hygiene. Imagine what happens when you practice emotional hygiene, how much emotional wounds and being chronically in a depressed and sad state affects so many areas of our life physically. Imagine if we practiced emotional hygiene like we practiced physical hygiene, what would happen to our emotional state? How much longer would we live? How much quality of life would increase? Think about that. Take this thought of practicing emotional hygiene, and that's why I asked you about the cell phone challenge earlier. And what that is that, don't check your cell phones or get on social media or do anything like that. That first hour of your day, make it about you. Make it about self-care. The world isn't going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. The world isn't going to go anywhere. It's always going to be there. Okay? Take some time to slowly get into your day. Take care of yourself, your mental state. Get in the Word, prayer, if that is your thing. Maybe meditation is your thing. Having quiet time and taking mental breaks during the day. Take a mental break. Get some quiet time somewhere. Breathe. And take care of yourself emotionally just as you do physically. Okay? Thanks for tuning in today. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you watching the chat. I hope that you will leave some comments down below. Mrs. V, hello. Welcome to the chat. It's great to see you. Tell me where you're from. I don't think I've ever seen you in one of my chats, so I would love to hear where you're from. You're probably going to have to catch the replay because I'm getting ready to sign off. We were talking about emotional hygiene today. Practicing emotional hygiene for emotional well-being, and to practice it just like you would physical hygiene, taking care of yourself, washing your face, taking showers, brushing your teeth, all that kind of stuff. Emotional hygiene is just that you need to recognize that you have deep psychological wounds, reach out for help, at least take a moment to recognize what you're feeling, and figure out why. And then reach out for help if it's something that you can't figure out. And that's something that I'm here for. You can send me, you can leave me comments on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on social media, everywhere. Just search for The Recycled Mom, and you're going to find me. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat, YouTube. So you can find me. You can also send an email to therecycledmom@gmail.com, and you'll be able to I would love to have conversation with you. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, if you're on Facebook, please scroll up, or at the top of my page, there's a big blue button that says visit group, and that is a private group for The Recycled Mom, for moms, women in the group, and it is it's a chat group. It's an extension of my YouTube channel, but it is a safe and welcome atmosphere to be able to discuss topics just like this. We can go deeper than we would on a public platform like YouTube or Facebook. So I would love to have you join the group. Just don't forget to search for The Recycled Mom on Facebook or any other social media platforms. Okay, Mrs. V, you love emotional hygiene. You're about to take a break from YouTube to reset emotionally. I love that. I love that. Applause to you, because you know that you need to do that. I've challenged people in the Recycled Mom group 2 weeks ago to not check your cell phones or social media, because a lot of people do everything on their cell phone, but don't get on your cell phones or check social media for that first hour of your day, and to let me know how that goes for you. Some people, oh, you're from Alabama, roll Tide. I'm here in Virginia. So anyway, yeah, the cell phone challenge, or actually a social media challenge, was to not get on social media that first hour of the day, and just to see how much it changes your life, how much it clears your mind, that kind of thing. So I was looking forward to hearing back from people every week. I'm here every Sunday at 2:30 Eastern. I am here. I stream live on Facebook and YouTube. And I appreciate you all for joining the chat. Please don't forget to click the thumbs up on YouTube. Share the chat on Facebook. I would love to have you do that and invite some people into our Facebook private group. But as it is, I have kept everyone long enough. It's just 3:30, and it's time for me to run off and do some other things. So I appreciate you tuning in today. Catch the replay, leave comments. I will talk to you again next week. Have a great one. Bye.